So, hey Jody, in this class, two things really impacted me over this semester. One being an overview of Black racial identity theory by Janet Helms and racial capitalism by Nancy Leon. On the very first day of school, you told us to introduce ourselves, and I noticed that the majority of the white students, when they introduced themselves, they didn't say their race, as opposed to the non-white students who said their ethnicity or their race. And that just shows a glimpse of how often each of the races actually do think about their own ethnicity. And Janet E. Helms wrote in an overview of Black racial identity theory that really hit me because as I was younger in my elementary years, I was told, living in a very diverse neighborhood, I was always told that I wasn't Black enough, and that was what I was used to until I moved to a predominantly white area, and then I noticed I was started being treated differently because I was Black. And so over the years, I've kind of tried to not be the stereotypical Black person, and I tried to convince myself that there was no such thing as being Black or being white, being a race. And I pretty much never thought of something as being a race since then, until this semester when I read an overview of Black racial identity theory. Janet E. Helms describes nigrescence and the 5 stages, which are pre-encounter, encounter, immersion, which is 2 stages, and the internalization. She coincidentally hit the nail right on the hammer with my life, and all the thoughts and all the stages coinciding with each other perfectly, and that just really impacted me because I did not think that there was such thing as being Black, but somebody professionally wrote something about that, and it just is weird to me that it's perfect, like right on the spot. And then Nancy Leon on her racial capitalism. Being younger, like I said, living in a diverse area, I never would have saw it until I came to the predominantly white area, and I definitely see it happening now. Maybe not as bad as it used to be, but I can definitely see it happening. She specifically says that racial capitalism is the commodification of a racial identity, which then leads to buying and selling, and that in itself is just degrading another race. And it's always the whites that are doing it to the non-white community and profiting off of it. And that causes resentment towards the whites from the non-white groups because they're just feeling as if they were used because they didn't get any of the profit. They didn't say it was okay, it just happened. And the only way, if we lived in a perfect world, it wouldn't happen, but we don't live in a perfect world, so the only way to make it better or to get close to getting rid of it is when it does happen, announce it. We need to unite and say, hey, this was ours. And the non-white group needs to be reimbursed for what was taken from them. And that would be the closest to respecting each other's race, ethnic and racial identities. And that's it.